Are we in the end times? And if so, what should we do? These are great questions, and here's what Jesus said about it in Mark 13:33. Be on guard, keep awake, for you do not know when the time will come. Jesus is telling his disciples about some things that will happen in the future, and they have some follow-up questions. When will this happen, and how will we know when it's about to happen? Jesus breezed right past the when question and went straight to talking about the signs. And the signs themselves sound pretty terrifying. But what caught my attention most is how Jesus said to respond to all this. In verse 7, he said, do not be alarmed. And in verse 11, he says, do not be anxious. Okay, so be on guard, the end is near, but don't be alarmed and don't be anxious. Sure, what? How can both of these things be true? The only way that's possible is if we know and trust the one in charge. And the one in charge promises that his kids will see complete restoration on the other side of all of this. There's a lot we don't know about the end times, but in Matthew's account of this same story, Jesus says one thing that is very clear, and it involves us. He said, this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So guess what? You and I have a kingdom assignment. We are the ones who proclaim the gospel. So let me proclaim it right now. This is the gospel. All of humanity was born with a fallen sin nature that separates us from God. Even our best attempts at living up to God's standard of perfection will leave us desperately short. But Jesus, who was fully God and fully man, bridged the gap in the way only he can. He lived a perfect, sinless life, then granted us his righteousness, and died a sacrificial death and took on our complete sin debt. And then he rose from the dead, defeating sin and death. Salvation is fully, freely yours by trusting in the finished work of Jesus. He made a way for us to be in relationship with God forever. So don't be alarmed, stay awake, and share the gospel.